got something I want to say. Something that I want to express. Would you rather have security or freedom? I'll tell you one thing, and this is not a thing that is a judgment. This is just true. You'll never be satisfied without freedom. Nope. Because freedom is what you are. You are energy. And that energy is free. It's unattached. It is unhindered. It's unbounded and unlimited. It is free. Freedom is an intrinsic property of your being. And if you are not embodying and flowing with that freedom, you're not going to feel good. It's not going to feel right. Ego likes security. Ego likes stability. The false self likes things to stay the same, to fit in a box, into a category, to be all-purpose and reliable, easily applicable. 10 steps to success. 6 methods to a happy marriage. 5 ways to live your best life. That's what ego likes. And ultimately, everything that ego likes, the soul does not care for. Because it's not of the soul. It's not in alignment with what the soul knows, what the soul is. That's why following ego, which has an obsession with form, which identifies itself with form, is in fact itself a thought form. It's a structure of forms. It's not real. It's an illusion. Because of its identification with other forms, which are illusory and unstable, it's constantly under threat. It's constantly trying to shore itself up. It's always looking out, looking around, behind its back. What's going to jump out next? What could go wrong? It wants security because of that. Because it's built on an unstable foundation, on a false foundation. So it's constantly looking for security that it will never find. And if security is what you're choosing, you'll never be satisfied. You will never feel secure. The true security, the true invulnerability is found in freedom. Is found in letting go of all of that. Letting go of control. Letting go of the identification with ego and everything that ego is identified with itself. Realizing you are freedom. You are free. There is nothing stopping you. There is nothing binding you. There's nothing stopping you from feeling joy in this moment. There is nothing bound to a condition. Nothing that prevents you from being. First of all, that is your primary function. That is your essence. You are being and you be, and nothing changes that. Not even the destruction of this form. No, this form can come and go. It can fade, it can rot in the ground, and you continue to be. Your being doesn't change. Your consciousness is uninterrupted. You only know more the flow of your own well-being, your own stability, the assurance of your continuation. Freedom or security? This is a question that's going to face all of consciousness in the coming years. There's no time, but as we transition into the age of Aquarius, this is a big question that the soul is asking us to face. We've been choosing security, which itself is an illusion. The illusion of security is said by the illusion of control, which is created by ego. Anything you think you're trying to control is only controlling you. That's it. But when you surrender that control, When you let it go, when you set it free, you rediscover your own power to be free, to be liberated. You discover your own liberated state. You know your liberation. And you discover the power of that, the good feeling of that, the invulnerability of that. Nothing can stop you from letting go. Nothing can stop you from setting free. You see? That's what surrendering is. That's what allowance is. Non-resistant, non-attachment. Letting go, letting be free. Acknowledging that freedom is intrinsic, inherent to all being. When you are honoring that in all that is, accepting everything that is as it is, you are honoring that within yourself, and the universe cannot help but reflect that back to you, because that is your perception. You are perceiving that everything that is free. And you, your being, is a part of what is. You are free. You are included in this. When you set all conditions free, when you're no longer attached to or dependent upon them for anything, for identification, for satisfaction, for fulfillment, for validation, any of that. When you release the forms, you release the conditions, you set them free, you are free from them. You are liberated from them. And you free up the universe to sweep you along in this magnificent swirling vortex and just carry you. Like it's carrying everything. Are human beings responsible for the rotation of the earth, for the movement of the planets, for the cycle of the tides or the seasons? There's a greater force, whatever you want to call it. It's not relevant. There's a greater force that governs these things. Just call it nature. It's the natural order. There's a greater power that governs the overall flow of all. When you embrace that flow and witness it, when you embrace freedom, you're swept up in it. You are included in that flow. You are taken care of. That's what providence is. You are provided for by the universe, by the greater processes, powers that literally move mountains. Not something a billion humans could effectively do. It's time to choose freedom. It's time to recognize that that's where the satisfaction is. And in choosing freedom, that means freeing. You're freeing all form, you're freeing all condition. Nothing and no one is responsible to you. You're not responsible to it. You're no longer seeking satisfaction or validation from any of this stuff. You set it free. In so doing, you discover your own liberation. The most powerful of things to know is liberation from polarity. Polarity is created by the mind. It's what perceives good and bad, happy and unhappy, like and dislike. It's easy enough to say, I'll let go of disliking things. Can you let go of liking things? Can you find a higher perspective that holds an appreciation for all things in a way that is beyond like and dislike? It is one thing to say, I wish to be free of unhappiness, to be free of suffering. But can you accept that this condition of unhappiness is tied to the condition of happiness? And that all of that is a mental construct. that your definition of happiness is in fact not the genuine article. It's not true happiness. Everything you thought was happiness this whole time, everything you thought was love this whole time, success, peace even, is not that. That thing that you've been seeking, that you've been chasing, trying to attain, is not the thing. It's an idea. It's a concept. It's a concept created by the mind, which, because it is mind created, includes a polar opposite. And so it's not the pure form. Your happiness is actually unhappiness. It's the absence of unhappiness. That's sort of the perception of it. And so it necessarily contains this seed of unhappiness. If you can surrender that, if you can see this is a mind-made concept, it doesn't actually exist. This thing that I think I've been chasing, this is an idea. It's not real. If you can accept, I will never have that because that doesn't exist. I'll never be happy in this way that I think is happy. If you can come to peace, if you can make peace with that, if you can see that is a condition, that's just a condition. If you can accept that you will never be happy in this way that you perceive it to be, you're releasing the mind-made concept of happiness. In your detachment from this mental form, you set it free. You liberate yourself from polarity, and you discover the true joy that is your natural state to arise within you, to emanate forth from you in your liberation from happiness, which is one end of the stick, the other side is unhappiness. You can't drop just one side. If you want to let go, if you want to be free, you have to drop them both. In so doing, you are liberated from the burden of polarity, which is the illusion of separation. In your liberation from the illusion of separation, you realize your oneness with all that is. You realize your life. You realize your joy. You realize your peace. You realize love. And you know it immediately as the genuine article, because it is that which has no polarity. It has no opposite. It is all-encompassing. It is unconditional. It contains all within it. It's unquestioned, absolute, sure, stable, and eternal. It's time to choose freedom. Consciousness. This is just consciousness speaking to consciousness. All is the same self. We are one. This is our liberation, our joy, our knowing emanating forth, received by self. All of this is self-expressing as it delights and desires to. All of it is right. Witness this. Choose liberation. Let go of this feeble concept of happiness. It is not the real thing. We promise you that. Your tiny mind-made construct of joy does not come close. Not even close. Nor does your concept of love. Ego attachment, that's all these things are by your current understanding of them. And of course, you've had no other perspective and no way to reach that other perspective without dropping that one completely. It's been obscuring your view. This is a task for ego. We understand. But it is a task you are up to. You are up to this challenge. This is your consciousness arising. This is the awakening of your joy and your peace and your absolute power. This is your coming into yourself. Coming of age. And it is happening now. It is time to feel your autonomy as divine, spiritual beings. To know absolutely, beyond the shadow of doubt, you are free. Can you feel the goodness of that? Can you feel how powerful that is? Can you feel that is a joy that is unmatched and unquestioned? Can you feel that nothing compares to this joy of the knowledge of your freedom, of your being, the wellness of it, the eternity of it, the infinity of it? Come on. It's time to feel this, to feel yourself. You have this power. Absolutely. You are ready. It is within your grasp. Don't put it off. This is not a future thing you need to prepare for. You can do it now. In fact, now is the only time that you ever can do it. Fortunately, this now stretches on forever, so you will never miss out on this opportunity. But understand, you make this choice to drop the small, limited view, to realize you have no idea what happiness is. But this idea of happiness is not something you can attain. So acknowledge, accept, I cannot attain happiness. Stop seeking it. Stop trying to be it. And you will have the real thing. You will experience the genuine article. That is our promise to you. Your growth has been transcendent and a marvel to behold. But you are ready to take the next step, a bigger step, a step you never foresaw. Because you couldn't see it yet. This has been about the growth of perspective, the expansion of consciousness. But now is the time. You have expanded. You have stretched, to such incredible heights. And you're ready, not just to peer beyond the veil, to peel it back. You're ready for it to fall. And fall it shall, to your delight and ours. We are one. This is our desire. None are alone in this. There is no such thing. All is here and now. Can you feel the atmosphere vibrating around you? That is us, with you, always. Let go of the small mind. Just open. Accept that it does not know, and be open. That is all it takes. You are ready for this. And we are ready to receive you. What exciting moments these are that we share. And a blessing to be here with you.